Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video, another collab. I always love it when I see my new guests, especially when they've never been on the channel before, bopping their head to the intro, because that means the intro is still slapping. I've had it for ages, but it's still doing the thing. It's just to get the guest and the listener pumped. Do you know what I mean? Just ready for action. Lewis from City Extra. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Honestly, how are you doing, bro?
Cheers, bro. I can't lie in it. I woke up like 45 minutes ago. So,
bro, same,
yeah, man.
Same.
It's pretty mad. So, yeah, now I'm all good, bro. I've been scouring Twitter this morning, getting all the latest rumors and hitting up my contacts so I could give you the latest, bro. So, yeah, and yeah, we got loads of stuff to talk about in it. So, I'm buzzing.
100%. Do you know? I was just saying to you before we went live that I'm quite surprised that City are having it seems to be quite a shift in terms of players. And I was actually watching one of your old shows with Big Steve, and I remember you saying that you need to keep the squad fresh. You need to keep it rejuvenated. Yeah. You need to bring players in that haven't won trophies before, because it just gives that extra kick. And it's almost. It's fantastic to hear, but also terrible to hear at the same time, because it means that you guys are going to go again, which I'm getting kind of tired of you guys winning Premier Leagues. If you could relax, do you know what I'm saying, and let somebody else have a turn. But also Chelsea never go down this route. Whenever we used to win a Premier League, we used to just like rest on our laurels. We used to, not bring in the best of the best, and that's how you get complacency. That's how you get inconsistency the following season. That's how you don't retain. And you guys are obviously going for a third straight title. But let's get to Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling, because those are the two players that are linked with Chelsea at the moment, and two very, very good players. Two very, very good players, two top players in my opinion. I personally, in terms of the two, I favor Gabriel Jesus just because I think he's able to play across the front line. I think he's going to end up being cheaper, but obviously I'll be able to get that confirmed from you. His wages are a lot lower than Raheem Sterling as well. And I also feel like, definitely, stop me if I'm wrong, but Gabriel Jesus hasn't proved his point as much, I think, as Raheem Sterling at City and in the Premier League. So maybe he's got a little bit more to prove, whereas Sterling feels like a player that should maybe go abroad. But what do you make of this situation? Are you surprised to see you even entertaining selling to a team like us?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, where are these guys going to play? Because it's like, for me to sort of like go into, I want to know sort of like where you reckon these guys are going to play. You know what I mean? Are they going to play on the right? Are they going to play as a striker? Because, depending on what you say, it sort of, because obviously we've seen Gabriel Jesus and Sterling play on the left. We've seen them both play strikers, and we've seen them both play on the right-hand side, man. So it kind of helped me if you sort of could let me know where do you reckon these guys would actually fit in at Chelsea?
Well, for me, we still probably will play this 3-4-3. And the three attackers are quite narrow. The wing backs push forward. Now, at a time in the season, which I think a lot of Chelsea fans forget, and even I do forget myself sometimes, we did play with the front three wide players actually on the touchline, and the wing backs were inverted, and they came inside, similar to what Cancelo would do for you guys.
I like that.
So I also do like that, because it allows those wingers to actually play as wingers, and that's where there's the flexibility in the system to say we actually could play with sometimes wingers, but also inside 10s. So I guess what we're looking for, and what I'm looking for personally, is a player that is versatile to be able to play inside the central, tucked in channels in terms of picking up the ball in the half spaces and being able to do damage inside. Also play on the touchline and be able to take players on, create things out of nothing, and then also play up front, because we could also go with a two-striker system at time with Kai and Jesus or Sterling, whoever it will be. Who do you think, I guess, is best for just fitting into all those different types of roles? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. All right, okay, that helps a little bit. Well, I mean, let's start off with Gabby then, yeah. Obviously came in big expectations when he came in from Brazil. We obviously thought he was going to be someone that maybe could take over the mantle of Aguero. And to be fair, look, he wasn't that far off, bro. You know what I mean? We're not talking about a player that's come in and flopped here. Yeah, he's done the bits for City over the years. Unfortunately, when we need a replacement of Aguero, we need someone top class, and he's just not quite managed, bro, to get to that level. I'm not saying he's down here, yeah. He's not some B-Tech striker. He's a good striker, bro, and the guy scores goals. He works hard. He loves playing, and you'll see that if he comes into you. The negatives for Gabriel Jesus, I'm talking as a striker here, is that he's just not clinical enough, bro. So, you know, as a second striker, you said there's second striker. You never said to me out and out number one striker. If he's a second striker, I think that works. And in fact, there have been times, not often, bro, not often, but there have been times when we had Aguero and Jesus fit that we played both Aguero and Jesus. And let me tell you something, it wasn't a lot, but it was mega football, and they both worked, and Jesus was very good in that system. The problem is, and you will see this if you get him, if you asked him to play up there on his own, he's just not clinical enough. You know what I mean? And it's difficult because you know what it is when you play in these teams, sometimes in the bottom half of the table, sometimes not even that, sometimes when you're playing teams in the top half of the table, you'll see it, they'll just put the whole team on the edge of the box, and you might get one or two chances, like proper, I'm talking real clear-cut chances here, and you can't put your house on him that he'll score, and that's where Gabby's just not at that level. He's sort of like there, you know what I mean, just below him. But what he does give you is an incredible work rate, which will fit into Tuchel's plans. You know what I mean? Tuchel obviously likes players who give it all for the shirt and that. And I think Jesus will give you that. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, and in fact, some of his most influential games for City, and we're talking big Champions League clashes here, Real Madrid, have come when Gabriel Jesus has played on the wing. So, look, it'll be interesting because I also feel, and I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to give Jesus the benefit of the doubt here, bro, that maybe with Jesus always being that understudy to Aguero, always knowing that, no, he can play 5-6 games in a row and he can go bang, 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 score goals, but then as soon as Aguero's fit, he's out the team. And obviously this year, as a striker, he's never really nailed it down. And I just feel maybe if he goes somewhere and he knows that he can have 2 or 3 off games, but still be in the team for the game, that confidence from being the number one man, then maybe you'll see a little bit of a different Jesus, maybe a little bit more aggressive Jesus. And I think that's what he needs to be, really back himself. But look, that's my thoughts on Gabby. I love the guy, and if he leaves, I will be gutted. But I do think from a City point of view, it might be time for him to go now. I just don't think he's quite hit the heights that we want. But you know, there's a player in there, and if he goes, and then you know he does some mad stuff, I won't be sat there shocked. I fully think he's got it in him.
Do you feel like you've seen? Do you feel like you've seen everything for him, or do you think there's another level to go, either from a goal scoring standpoint with his clinical finishing, or from a creative standpoint in terms of dribbling, taking on players, creating more chances for the team?
Yeah, good question, bro. I think from the creative point, I think I've seen it all, and let me tell you, it's very, very good. It's very, very good. And let me tell you, we'll come on to Raheem Sterling in a minute, but if Raheem Sterling leaves, I would be seriously worried about getting rid of Gabriel Jesus, because I think we need one of them to stay, to play on that right-hand side. So in terms of creativity, playing on the wings, I've seen it all, and let me tell you, it's top class. And Pep Guardiola knows it's top class, because he was playing in all our big games, bro, at the end of the season. When we were playing them big Champions League games, when we were playing against Liverpool, he was playing. He played Liverpool... FA Cup semi-final, played Liverpool in the league. Big match against Liverpool. You remember the game, bro? Like that was being dubbed as like the title decider. Yeah, you know what I mean, and he played that. He played it in the big Champions League games, and he can do it. No problems there. So if you buy him as a winger, you'll be fine. Yeah, if you play him slightly off the striker, maybe on the right or on the left, I got no problems. You'll smash it there. Yeah. What he can improve is scoring goals, bro. You know, he's got to be more clinical. And did you watch when we played Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final? Did you watch that game?
Yeah.
Right, okay, we went 3-0 down, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, oh yeah, the reason you lost that game is because Stefan was shit. Well, yeah, okay, to a point. Actually, in the second half, we had chances, mate. I'm not talking half chances. I'm talking big chances. And there was a big chance. I think it was we got the first, and this was about the 60th minute, something like that. So still lots of time to go. And Gabby Jesus went one-on-one with Alisson, one-on-one. And
oh yes, yeah.
He just kicked the ball straight at Alisson. You know, it was a good save from Alisson.
I remember this.
Closed down the angle, nice. But a top class striker there, bro. A top class striker, bags. Harry Kane, bags. Hairline, bags. Lever, bags. This guy, that's the problem. And you will see that. You will see that.
That's what we don't need. We need finishers. Do you know what I mean? It's just the market is not great right now in terms of strikers. It's difficult.
But that's why I'm saying, bro. If you buy him as a second striker, You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And maybe he plays us a little bit off the striker. You know what I mean? A little bit, just a little bit of like a
Off,
nuisance.
a little bit off Kai, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's not the one that's constantly going through on goal. It's the big
Mm,
dog striker. You know that might work. But
yeah.
if that guy's injured and you're putting Jesus up there as the main guy,
Yeah.
you will see it where he'll go 1-on-1 and you think this is a goal, and he'll just fluff it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
consistency in front of goal. That's pretty much it, bro. But if you're
That's pretty
buying him
much
and he's
it.
playing him
Yeah.
as a winger, you got no problems.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get on to Raheem Sterling because this is a player that's been linked with us as well.
Yeah.
Linked with a move back to London because obviously that's where he grew up
Yeah.
for QPR. And then a player that, for me personally, I'm surprised to not see Real Madrid links, Bayern Munich links to replace Gnabry because I think he's that caliber of player. I think he can play at a club like that. And I do think,
Mm.
he's kind of completed the Premier League, so to speak, in a way. But what's your take on him potentially staying in the Premier League and if he was to join Chelsea and play in those variety of positions? What would you say his strengths and his weaknesses are? Because he's a player that divides opinion massively.
You know what, bro? It's actually not too dissimilar to Jesus. In front of goal, he's not clinical enough, and
Yeah.
I can. Oh my god, bro!
Despite all the goals he scored, because people will look at the statistics, bro, and they'll
Yes.
say double digit,
Yes.
double digit, double digit, double digit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
Mm.
bro, I can, and every single City fan can name you at least 5 or 10 occasions where the guy's 1 yard in front of goal and put the ball over the net, over the top of the net. You know what I mean? Or put it wide. Like he's just not got that sort of confidence in front of goal. However, despite that, he gets incredible numbers, bro. Let me give you some mad stats, bro, from like a few years ago where he was like the main man. Yeah, listen to this: 52 appearances, 31 goals, 10 assists. He's hitting like Messi, Ronaldo numbers, bro.
Bloody
Was
hell.
it a fluke? Not really. The year before, 51 appearances, 25 goals, 17 assists. He's getting like a goal or an assist every game, pretty much. You know, with these numbers, it's a mad stats. Unfortunately, yeah, I think that what's happened is you got to remember we've basically been playing without a striker for like the last 18 months because obviously this season we didn't have a striker. Jesus didn't play as a striker at all pretty much this season. The season before we had Aguero for maybe the first couple of months and then he just you know what I mean, his injuries, as you obviously you seen him only coming on for like 5 minutes or whatever it was in the Champions League. And he's sort of, we're going to call it a dip in form, right? Because if you look at the numbers that he was hitting and you look at the numbers that he's been hitting for the last 18 months, he's not getting them numbers. But he's still hitting very good numbers. I'll
Very
give you
good
some in a
numbers.
minute.
Yeah.
But that sort of dip in form, right? That's come from City not having a striker. So what's frustrating me, right, is that I got City fans saying, nah, we need to get rid of Sterling. The guy's not been performing for the last 18 months. And I'm saying to these people, yeah, look, he's not been performing for the last 18 months. We've not had a striker for the last 18 months. We've now gone out and signed 2 of the most promising strikers in world football, in Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez, and now people want to sell this guy. It's like, if you were going to sell him, you should have sold him last summer when we didn't sign a striker. Don't sell him now, because now we finally got a striker. Now, of course, the risk is if we don't sell him, then he could have a stinker and he'll leave on a free transfer at the end of the year. But what money are we going to get for him now? He's got 1 year left on his deal. We're going to get 50 mil, you know what I mean? I think that's probably something we're going to get. I just think that, if we sell Sterling for 50 mil, we're going to have to go out and get a big dog winger. It's going to cost you 80, 100 mil. You know what I mean? People looking at like that Rafael Leao, that's going to cost you 80, 100 mil. So why not just wait? Yeah, why not just wait 1 year, see if he tears it up. If he tears it up and he's having a sick time, he'll probably want to stay, sign him on a new deal. And if he doesn't tear it up, then you let him go, but then you've got a full year then of scouting at a proper winger and you get the boy you want. I just think, bro, seriously, I think this is a bad move. Unless Sterling is literally banging on the door saying, get me out of this football club, I would not be selling this guy. And controversially, I would rather let him walk out on a free next summer than sell him for 50 mil this year.
A lot of people say that he thrives because of the system, and there's a lot of players that thrive on systems. I think all of Liverpool's forwards thrive on the template that Klopp has given them. People will say that Sterling kind of is a tap-in merchant, or a lot of his goals in some of those statistics you gave came of him at being at the back post, which involves having to be quite intelligent and actually make those movements and time those runs, etc. And I've seen many a time at Chelsea where balls come in the box from Reece James from the right hand side, and there's nobody to tap it into the back post because they're either just about missing it for about the 15th time. So it does take skill and timing and positioning.
Thank you for recognizing that, man. Because so many people say that, he just taps them in. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. So if we look at someone like Jack Grealish, who's coming, and I'm sure he will improve next year, but and Mahrez and players like these, where the ball's, they're on the edge of the box, waiting to curl one in the top bins. Whereas Sterling, he's constantly in there, getting the goals, mate. So, nah, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you fucking said that, man, and didn't disrespect him, because I hear so many people say, oh, yeah, but Sterling, look at all his goals, he just taps them in. And like you say, that's an art. You look at Frankie Lampard, yeah? Obviously, he scored the screamers, but a lot of his goals, ball was just fizzed across the box, and you come in, slam it in with his right foot in the back of the net. You know, not in terms of the actual shot, not difficult, but in terms of timing the run and being in the right space. And Gundogan is very similar, being in the right space at the right time. That is a skill, that is an art, and that's what something Sterling's got, and that's probably why he misses so many chances. But the reason he misses is because he's getting so many chances. Yeah, he's getting himself in them areas, man.
Yeah, and do you think he can replicate or go above and beyond his statistics in a team that is nowhere? Well, I'm not. Then Chelsea are not as creative as City. Do you know what I mean? You guys are the best. I need to protect myself.
You're about to get cancelled from the Chelsea fans, then, bro.
It's true, though, isn't it? It's true. But you guys, I saw your pass map, right? I don't know if you probably did as well.
I seen it.
Bloody hell! It was like an art. It was art.
Yeah,
bro. It belonged in the Louvre, bro. It was. Do you know what I mean? Everything was just perfectly done. All the passes were just, you know what I mean? It all symmetrical. We are not like that. Do you know what I mean? We can definitely create chances, but not at the same quality as you. So I have to ask: Is Sterling able to not only help us create better, clear-cut chances in our team and take us to another level creatively with his dribbling? Seems to be maybe his best aspect. Is his decision making always good enough? Would you say? And then would you say he's able to get those goals that maybe are not those back post ones, but also the difficult shots, or like you're saying, with the finishing could maybe improve in some respects, because we won't create the way you guys create in terms of constantly back post. You will have to potentially score a more difficult shot.
Yeah, interesting. I think, look, if you're buying Jesus, you can play him as a striker or a second striker. If you're playing Sterling, I would highly advise not playing him as a striker. I've seen it a lot. He just doesn't do it for me. So I wouldn't advise him on there. If you played him on the right hand side, you're probably going to get less goals, but you're going to get more chances created, right? On the left hand side, if he's in form, right, Sterling on the left hand side, if he backs himself, because I think he's a confidence player, and people have asked him this before and said, "Oh, you reckon you're a confidence player?" And he's been like, "Nah, I'm not a confidence player. I'm playing the same time." But I think that's sort of like a little bit of, I don't know, you just
don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, but I do think on a real he is a confidence player, but. Yeah, if you play it on the left-hand side and he's got the confidence, and he can whip him in and obviously cutting off the left and just put one in the top bins. But, you know, I think that that's difficult, bro. You're not going to get that every game. So you put him on the right-hand side and he's going to deliver more consistent performances. And I think that when he plays on the right-hand side, I think that's his best position. That's why I don't want him to leave City this summer, because I just think with Haaland in the middle next season, you just put him on the right and just say, you know, get the ball in, you know what I mean, and Haaland will do the rest. Yeah. I just think that's the way to go. But yeah, I think play him on the right hand side, mate, and you get someone in the box who knows where the goal is. And yeah, I think that could be a good combination.
It seems like both of these players, to kind of round up, should actually play on the right wing. Because I've seen statistically, Gabriel Jesus, I think, played 15 times on the right wing this season for you guys. Played quite a lot of games on the right hand side, like you were saying, not always up front. Sterling, obviously, you want him to stay on the right wing as well. It seems like both these players, to kind of cover for the maybe finishing deficiencies in their game, that they're not the most clinical finishers. They're not going to score you those, you know, human Son goals outside the box. They're not going to, you know, cut inside from that left-hand side and be always extremely clinical from inside or outside the box, unless it is or maybe a more simpler finish with good movement. That you'd put them on the right to create chances for you, to have those cutbacks constantly coming in to create for others. Is basically kind of how we should round up these two players, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And I want to give you some stats here from Sterling. Yeah, Sterling on the left hand side, left wing, has played 235 games. This is for club and country, right? 235 games. So he's played more on the left. 81 goals, 53 assists. Decent numbers, bro. Decent numbers. But listen to this, yeah. On the right hand side, 156 games, so nearly what was that, 80 games less, 49 goals, 58 assists. So he's got more assists in 80 less games by playing on the right wing, and only like 20 or 30 less goals in 80 games, bro. So he's clearly for me a better right winger. Jesus, Jesus won't get you them big numbers, I don't think, regardless of whether you play him on the right or the left. I think he's a little bit more flexible of whether you can play him on the right or the left. But for Sterling, for sure, you got to get him on that right hand side, bro.
There you go. Well, this has been brilliant insight because, now I think Chelsea fans in the comments, you guys can kind of decide who you would prefer, even excluding, transfers and in terms of money spent, wages, just exclude all of that player for player. Let me know in the comments down below who you would prefer to bring in. My opinion, but I wanted to give the platform to someone who knows exactly about these.
What
two
is your
players
opinion, by the way, bro?
I would personally prefer Gabriel Jesus because he's not only is he more cost effective for us, he's obviously slightly younger. I do think he can play up front, in a two striker system, whereas Sterling can't, and that just covers more bases for us. And I think I just feel like I like the profile of Jesus. I think there's obviously Sterling's a very good player, but I think Jesus, there's something more there. There's something more to give. There's another level to go. Whereas Sterling, I definitely feel like I've seen everything, and I do question what you could possibly do at Chelsea when you've done everything at City. I mean, if he's recharged, ready to go, and he wants to come to Chelsea and go again, but you got more chance of winning Premier Leagues at City. You're getting good game time at City from what I can see. It seems like as if he's a very important player for you guys. And you guys, even though, we won the Champions League, you guys are more likely to probably win it than we are, in the next couple of years with Hairline. So I'm kind of confused as to why he would want to come to us. Whereas Gabriel Jesus, I know he wants to play games. I know he wants to prove that he can be the main man. And that little chip on his shoulder, I'm thinking, okay, I
think you're right, bro. I think if Chelsea was in the market, right, for a right winger, and this stream was called "Who should Chelsea sign as their next right winger?" Then I'd be saying Sterling, obviously.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like that's what Chelsea are in the market for. It sounds like Chelsea are in the market for a guy who can do a little bit of everything. And I think that you're spot on. I think if that is what Chelsea are looking for, play a little bit of left wing maybe, play a little bit on the right, changing up them positions, maybe plays a striker from time to time, then Jesus is your man.
Yeah. And Dembele's meant to be coming in on the right wing, so that would cancel out bringing in maybe Sterling to play right wing as well. Sterling would probably have to play on the left. Let them know where to find you, bro, Lewis. It's been an absolute pleasure. And honestly, I really enjoyed this. Really good convo, bro. Big up.
Yeah, legit. So City Extra, City channel on YouTube, innit? We got the Twitter, Instagram, and all that as well. So come check us out.
There you are. Well, guys, make sure you check him out. The tag is going to be in the title, link in the description as well. For me, smash up the icons, of course, smash up the likes. Let me know in the comments, who would you prefer, Gabriel Jesus or Sterling? You've got brilliant insight in this one, so let me know in the comments. I'll be replying as always. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Big up. Peace, people.